Stan Gibilisco here from the Black Holes of South Dakota, United States of Advertising. A little note about something I call a turn down day. Now, there was a song back around 1967 that I remember. I really loved that song, and I still do. In fact, I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. It was by a band called Circle. You know, one of those little bands in the 60s that maybe got one #1 hit and then vanished. At least that was the only time I ever really heard of them. But they made a song called Turn Down Day, and that describes this day for my writing and also for my video making. You may notice that I mentioned that if you want to write a 365-page book in a year, you should write a page a year. I said that twice. Today is a Sunday. It's hot. I was one day ahead of schedule in my work, so I decided to take the day off. Instead of going to the beach, I sort of went to the hills. Well, actually, I did go swimming. But the point is I didn't do any work today because I didn't have to, and it was just one day. It was just exactly what they mean by turn down day. And you're going to have those. And my advice is, in your schedule for writing, include a buffer so that you can have a few turn down days in there, because they're going to come your way. Your brain just isn't going to work that great. No, I did not have any beer. No, I have had some Diet Mountain Dew, but maybe just not enough. But it's a Sunday, and the good Lord says it's okay not to work on Sunday. At least that's the way I interpret it. So I don't feel particularly guilty. But I think you could probably tell, that I was a little off. And I'm still a little off because it's a turn down day. Like I say, you're going to have them. If you don't really have to write on a turn down day, maybe it's a good idea not to. Because there's a pretty good chance your writing is going to come out even crappier. Or at least if I do it, my writing's going to come out even crappier than it already is to begin with. And even if you're a good writer, if you try to write on a turn down day, probably going to come out pretty mediocre. But then again, you never know. It's all up in the air today, I can tell you. But listen to that song. I just think that's really neat. Back in the 60s. We're sort of in a time like that right now, aren't we? A little bit of rebellion going on, maybe. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until next time, so long.